Brought to you by 1AAuto.com, your source for quality replacement parts and the best service on the internet.
Hi, I'm Mike from 1AAuto. I hope this how-to video helps you out. And next time you need parts for your vehicle, think of 1AAuto.com. Thanks.
In this video, we're going to show you how to replace an upper ball joint on this 2003 GMC Envoy XL. And we show you on the passenger side, but the driver's side is the same procedure. And the items you'll need for this is a new upper ball joint from 1AAuto.com, flat blade screwdriver, 10, 15, and 19 millimeter socket and ratchet, 15 millimeter wrench, hammer, punch, snap ring pliers depending on the condition of your old ring around your ball joint, razor, ball joint press, jack and jack stands, and a torque wrench.
Start out by removing your wheel and tire. Pry off the cap first. If you don't have the benefit of air tools, you'll want to loosen the lug nuts, then raise and secure the vehicle on jack stands and remove the lug nuts the rest of the way. We have air tools, so we put the vehicle up on jack and jack stands, remove the lug nuts, and remove the wheel and tire.
Using a pry bar or a large flat blade screwdriver, just insert it in between the axle and the axle housing, and just hammer it to separate the axle. Now remove this clip here, and ours is broken, so we're just going to use some wire cutters to remove the wire tie. But normally you would just pry the clip open with a flat blade screwdriver.
There's a retaining ring that holds the ball joint in. You want to use a punch and a hammer, and you can see we do it before we release the upper control arm. You want to get that retaining ring out.
Next, remove these two 10 millimeter bolts, and we'll fast forward as Mike does that. And just pull the wheel knuckle forward and just make sure your axle pulls free, and then support your wheel knuckle with wire ties or string just so that it's not being supported by those harnesses. And we're just going to cut off this boot around the ball joint.
Okay, so you need a tool that'll be able to press on the hard part of the ball joint. And we actually had to augment ours with another little attachment. And then this cup will go around the outside of the ball joint there. And then put the press on here. So now the press will be pushing around the edge of the ball joint and down into the cup. And the cup is holding, it's not hitting the ball joint, it's holding around the steering knuckle. So it's very important that you line everything up straight. Go nice and slow. So you can see the ball joint's been pushed down and out.
Take your new ball joint and push it up into place.
Push that up in. Need a sleeve to go up on top. Then this can just contact right against the bottom of your ball joint.
And we use the press to push the ball joint up and in, and sometimes it helps just to use a hammer. You put a lot of pressure on with the press, then use the hammer to get the ball joint seated all the way in.
Now if your old ring's still in good condition, just hit it back into place. Otherwise, use snap ring pliers and put the new snap ring into place. Push the wheel knuckle back, and then just push your upper control arm down onto the ball joint and hammer it down the rest of the way. And then just slide that bolt through. Replace the nut and make sure you remove your wire ties or string. Push the axle back into place. And then we'll fast forward as Mike tightens this up. Torque this to 50 foot-pounds. Twist the grease fitting into place and tighten it up with a 10mm wrench. If you have a grease gun, just top it off. And then just put the bolts back into place and reclip your harness. And our clip's broken, so we're just going to use a wire tie. And then just tighten up those two 10mm bolts. Replace your wheel. And replace the lug nuts and tighten them up preliminarily. Lower the vehicle, tighten them the rest of the way, and torque each of them to 100 foot-pounds in a crossing pattern.
And once you have them torqued, replace your cap, and you should be all set. We hope this video helps you out. Brought to you by oneaauto.com, your source for quality replacement parts and the best service on the internet. Please feel free to call us toll-free, 888-844-3393. We're the company that's here for you on the internet and in person.